Yo, what is up, my beautiful people? As you can see, I have a few handheld PCs on the table in front of me, and this is not just a random assortment of handhelds. I am on the record saying that these are my top 5 handheld PCs right now. And, you know, for my mathematicians out there, you might be saying, hold up, wait, barely average dude. I see 6 handhelds on the table right now, and that's a good observation. One is actually an honorable mention, and in the comments down below, let me hear your theories of which one you believe is the honorable mention among this group here. But anyway, these are my top 5 handheld PCs right now. But there is a new handheld I got in the studio today, and is looking to enter the upper echelon of handheld PCs. Is looking to break into the top 5 and replace one of these handhelds. And that is in this package right here. You already know what it is. This is none other than the AYANEO 3. We finally got it in the studio. A lot of people have been saying that the AYANEO 3 is actually the best 7-inch handheld PC. This is going to be a tough battle to fight, but today we're going to be diving into the AYANEO. I'm going to unbox it, open this thing up, see how it looks, see how it feels, give you my first thoughts and impressions, and then get you guys out of here. But this one has me excited because it has the OLED, it has the features, it has everything that you will want from, you know, a small handheld. You know, it can't compete with the big dogs, but let's see if it can enter the top 5 and replace one of these devices here. So let's get into it. But before we do that, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, ring that bell, all that great YouTube stuff so I can come into more barely average dude content like this. Let's stop wasting time. Let's get into the package. Let's do it. Okay, so as I open this package, let me tell you the story, right? Let me tell you the story. First of all, do not leave unattended because we got some valuable stuff in here. But let me tell you the story. I already had the F1 Pro for months now, and I asked in the chats, in the forums, in the groups, you know, how does the F1 Pro compare to the AYANEO 3, sorry. And everyone was saying that the AYANEO 3 was the best handheld. It was the best 7-inch handheld, or even the best handheld in general that anyone had ever tested. So I said, you know what? If people are comparing it to the F1 Pro and saying it's even better than one of my favorite handheld PCs right now, I gotta see what all the hype is about. So I went out, I got it, test out for you guys, and we're gonna see if this thing really is the handheld to beat. Now, I will say that this thing is kind of hard to get right now, but I was able to get my hands on it, had to make some calls, had to pull some strings, and had to spend some money, if you know what I mean. But we finally got it, and let's see what it's all about. We got some goodies in here. Okay, oh, here it is, you guys, the AYANEO 3. Let's put that to the side. Let's check out this case first. Okay, this case is very premium, actually. Has a nice sort of material, nice shine to it, so you know that it's premium. So let's see what's inside of this case here. It has that nice new case smell. Okay, so we have a tempered glass screen protector and some included joystick caps. That's always nice to see. Set that to the side and get into what we all came to see, the creme de la creme, as they say. The new AYANEO 3. Well, it's been out for months now. I don't know how many months, but it's been out for at least most of this year. So finally got it in the studio. I wasn't gonna get it, you guys. I really wasn't gonna get it because I already had the F1 Pro. And this is like my go-to if I want a small handheld PC, the same display as on the AYANEO 3. So I really wasn't gonna get the AYANEO 3. I knew that the modules were kind of like, you know, am I gonna use the modules? I don't know. But we have them. Let's get into the box and let's see what it's all about. Very nice looking packaging. I know some people don't care about the packaging, but for the money that you're paying for this device, you want to make sure that the packaging is top notch, top tier. So let's get into this here. We have these modules. They call them the Magic Module. Take a look at that and see which one you like, and that will be the one that you use most, and probably will never use the other ones after the first time. Okay, here we have the device right on top. I'm going to hold in my excitement and set it to the side first, you know, just to make sure that we can get to the box before I just go off and play that. But let's see what else we have in this package here before we get too excited. You guys got to realize I got this device hours ago, and I have to hold myself back before I got into it because I just wanted to show you guys the unboxing process. Probably seen it 1,000 times, but you can take all this paperwork, pluck it, and file it to the side, as Flossie Carter always says. But what do we have? Okay, you know, it's typical stuff in here, you guys. This is typical. What is this? Probably going to be our USB-C cable. Okay, some adapters, a lot of adapters, more thumbstick. Oh, thumbstick caps, not caps, but actual thumbstick, like the tops. So that's nice to have. What else? Oh, a charger. I guess is the UK charger, and you know, different chargers for different regions. That's nice to see. What else do we have in here? I'm sorry, you guys, I'm excited. I'm trying to rush through this so I can get to the actual device itself. Got a cable in there, typical standard cable. What else? And a power brick. Now, is it going to be 100 watt or is it going to be 65 watt? It feels like a 65 watt. Let's see. It feels like a 65 watt. Yeah, that's going to be a standard 65 watt charger. You can see that there, 65 watts. I do like that it has the retractable prongs. That's always nice to have because it fills up nice and neat. Okay, here we have that there. And we are looking good. So no modules just yet, you guys. But anyway, we're going to see what this is all about. Here we have the device here, you guys. Let's get all these boxes out of the way and let's see what we have. No, it's time for the device overview. Let's just do a quick overview of the device. I'm going to get to how it feels and the ergonomics in a minute. Let's just let you know it does feel pretty dense, but let's just take a look of the device here and see what we have. On the front, we have this nice sort of all glass body or front panel that's not like a normal glass and then bezel. The display is kind of like just embedded. So this whole front panel is like one solid piece of glass, which is, you know, questionable for, you know, just being fragile, but it does have a nice premium look to it. You can see the way the light catches that glass there. Let's take a look at the top. We're going to have some buttons here and then fingerprint reader and power button. We have volume rocker, OcuLink, which is a nice thing to have. I think this is like, you know, one of the only 7-inch devices right now that still has that OcuLink port. USB-C, I think that's USB 4.0. We're gonna have our buttons and triggers. Those feel good. And on the bottom, we are gonna have another button. I believe that's to change the different modes. Another USB-C port. This is a SD card slot. So SD card slot there and a headphone jack. Take a look at the back. We have a very rare sighting of the trigger buttons that turns it into a sort of digital trigger or a hair trigger. And then this is the full long trigger. So we have that. The only other device that I have that on right now is the Legion Go S. So that's a nice inclusion. And then we have two back buttons right here, these little paddles on the back. So that is nice to see. Now, we looked at the device. Let's look at the ergonomics. Ergonomics and controls. Okay, so just from my initial impressions, it does feel very good in the hand. It has a nice round shape here that fits nicely in my hands. All of the buttons feel like they're in a good place. So this feels nice. The back buttons are also pretty accessible, pretty easy to get to, but not too easy that you're going to be hitting those accidentally. But yeah, feels good. Triggers have a nice rebound. Bumpers feel solid, not too clicky, not too sort of spongy. Everything on here feels good. Those joysticks are going to be nice and full size, as you can see here, larger than the F1 Pro. So there's going to be a much larger joystick there. So ergonomics and controls actually feel good. The only thing that I, take away points for as far as ergonomics is the button placement of the start and select. AYANEO has been putting the start and select button down here for generations now, and it always just feels a little bit uncomfortable in games, like going all the way down here from the joysticks and buttons. I wish it was like up the top. That's much more easy to reach, much more accessible than reaching the thumb down here every time. Now that's a nitpick, I know, but it's just not the most optimal position for the start and select buttons, in my opinion. Usually up here, like there's a button up here. I don't even know what this button is, but there's a button up here, and I wish that was the, position of the start and select button, because it's much easier to reach than being down here. You have to kind of adjust your grip. That's a nitpick, like I said, but it is something that I do have to note. But ergonomics and controls, device feel is good in the hands. It feels premium. It feels solid. Definitely heavier than the F1 Pro. This is like a premature size comparison, but let's just put it side by side. Yeah, definitely bigger than the F1 Pro. But it feels good, it feels dense, feels more solid, and it has, the grip and ergonomics to go with it. But anyway, let's turn this thing on, load it up, see what it's about. I'm gonna do the size and weight comparisons, so stay tuned for that, and then I get you guys out of here. I won't take too much of your time. This is just an unboxing and first impressions, but stay tuned for the size and weight comparisons. Some people hate it, some people love it. We're gonna keep doing it. And anyway, let's get into that segment. Okay, so the device is getting set up now. Let's do the weight. before we get into the size comparison. Okay, so 692 grams, almost 700 grams. Yeah, that's definitely more heavy than the F1 Pro, even with the thumb caps. And I even have like a little stand on the back, like a little metal kickstand, and these rubber pads here. Still weighs noticeably less than the AYANEO 3. So this is still, I guess, the lighter of the two, but you can see this thing is a pretty good size. Let's start with these size and weight comparisons. Here it is next to the F1 Pro here, as you can see. Same screen, same resolution, both OLED 144 Hz 1080p, but you can see the AYANEO 3 is just a little bit larger there, not too much. Here it is next to the MSI Claw 8. This is going to be a larger device here, 8 inches, 16 by 10 versus 7 inches, 16 by 9. You can see the size difference there. All right, now this is my go-to device right now. This thing right now is goated for me. AOKZOE A1X, same display pretty much as the MSI Claw 8, 8 inches, 500p, but you can see the size difference there. Another great device here. Same screen again with 3-for-3 with this 8-inch screen here. You can see these next to the Legion Go S here. Let's take it up a notch. The big dog, the behemoth. This is the OneXplayer X1. This thing has a huge 11-inch display here, 1600p. This thing is just massive. All right, back to the 7-inch devices. This is the GPD Win Mini. Take a look at the form factor. Their portability of this device is unmatched. They both have a 7-inch 1080p display, but this thing folds up to be just so small. Look at the difference here. And move this up. You can see this has a bigger footprint when opened, but you can close that thing up and it is just so portable. It's unmatched in the portability department. This thing will always be in my top contention here. Another clamshell champion here, the OneXplayer G1. Take a look at that form factor there. We gotta open that up a bit. Okay, so you can see the size difference there. All right, here's another fan favorite, the ROG Ally X. You can see they're both 1080p, 7 inches, but the Ally X is just a bit larger. You can see that there. Similar footprint and the sort of width, but this one is definitely thinner here. I know we had to put it next to the legend himself, the Steam Deck OLED specifically, but they're the same size. So we have a 7.4-inch device here. The Steam Deck is actually very large for its, suggested screen size, even, competing with some 8-inch devices, but you can see the size difference there. Steam Deck is, of course, one of the people's champions. Some people call it the best handheld PC of all time. But here it is next to the Steam Deck OLED there. All right, there's a big dog, the one that everybody loves, the Legion Go. This device is looking like it's soon to be replaced by the Legion Go 2. Right now, this is still the Legion Go of choice by many people. Huge 8.8-inch display, very large device. Look at it in comparison to the AYANEO 3 there. Noticeable size difference, as you would expect. All right, here it is, my favorite handheld PC of all time. It's in the family here, the AYANEO Kun. Awesome device, still love this to this day. Now, it doesn't get much play in the top 5 rotation, but this thing is in a league of its own. #1 handheld for me of all time. AYANEO Kun, 8.4-inch display. This thing checks all the boxes for me. Looking forward to a revision of this, maybe this year or early next year, but this thing right here, man, this thing is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna get you guys out of here. I have a lot more testing to do with this device. This was just sort of like my unboxing and first impressions of this device here. I brought the F1 Pro back into the picture because the real question for me is if this will replace the F1 Pro in my top 5 lineup. Now, I had a lot of people in the community, in the comments, as I said earlier, that saying that the AYANEO 3 was the best 7-inch device, or especially better than the F1 Pro. And I have to say that it is very promising, you guys. And I know I wanted to give you like my full sort of impression of the device. I think this device feels good, looks good, very premium. Price, it's never gonna be worth it. When people hear that price, it automatically, you know, gets dismissed. So I'm not gonna try to argue with those people, because you just know that at this price, it can't really be justified. It's kind of like, if it fits your needs, then go for it. But price aside, they're pretty much both the same price. But I will say this thing is promising. Ergonomics are up there, you guys. I will say that I do really like the ergonomics of the F1 Pro. For as small as it is and as compact it is, it feels good in the hands. And I will say that the AYANEO 3, it feels slightly better. Not much, but just the way that the back is, the grip on the back here, is just a little bit more to hold on to. Now, it does feel noticeably heavy. I think this is around 690 grams, something like that. And this is around 620 grams. So you do actually feel that, you know, more density, like it feels more dense. So you do notice that. But I'm used to devices that are like 800-900 grams, so this is really nothing. But for a 7-inch device, it does definitely feel, you know, heavy. Like the Win Mini is also 7 inches, and that's about 600 grams. This is, you know, 620, so this definitely feels heavy. It feels, you know, like 700 grams versus 600. But I do feel like the ergonomics are there. The ergonomics are spot on for this size. The ergonomics are slightly better than the F1 Pro. We have the addition of OcuLink, which is huge. I don't know why that's missing from the F1 Pro. I think just because they just, you know, pretty much just reused the original F1 body, and they didn't really add to it in that way. So that's kind of a miss in my opinion. We have the addition of OcuLink. Now I may sound stupid, but I am missing USB-A. I do love USB-A for like peripherals and things like that. I'm not gonna say it's better than OcuLink, but for some setups, it gets more use than OcuLink for me. But OcuLink is huge to have. You can throw in an adapter to get USB-A. You can't really throw an adapter easily to get OcuLink. So that's awesome. We have the addition of back buttons. That's huge for me. You guys, I love back buttons on the Handheld. You know, it just opens up the controls that you can have, and I really do appreciate that. And with the modules, I haven't got the modules yet. Those are coming in soon. So I'll tell you guys what I think about the modules, but just the fact that you can switch and swap them out, I think that is a pretty innovative feature. It could definitely be a future where that is a very useful thing to have. So I'm not going to knock it until I try it. I think that is awesome. But would it replace the F1 Pro in my top 5? It's right there. And if this thing delivers on the performance front, which I know it can, this thing is HX370, 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage here. This thing has all the potential to, you know, put the F1 Pro on the sideline, and it's sad to see because I just love the F1 Pro so much and I don't want to kind of admit it, but it is looking like it will be, you know, slightly more impressive. But is it worth your money? I don't know. These things are way too expensive to even say if one is worth it over the other. But I will say, if you're in the market for a 7-inch handheld PC with the new processor, new features, this is looking like it should get the, you know, the nod for most people, but I haven't put it through its paces yet, so don't quote me on that. I'm gonna, you know, run all the tests and everything side by side to see if this thing really deserves to put the F1 Pro on the bench. So I haven't given you guys a conclusion yet. This is just my first impressions, just, you know, spitballing here and making some assumptions just based on how it feels and how it looks and what's inside and what I know those things can do. But let me know everything you want to see from this device in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on this? Everyone that was telling me in the Discord, in the Reddit, in the Facebook groups, that the AYANEO 3 is better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is it really better? If you had to choose, which one would you get? If price is no object, you know, which one would you go for? The AYANEO 3 or the F1 Pro? This is not a comparison video, but, you know, just throwing that question out there for the audience. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Is this thing top 5 worthy? I don't know, but let's see. Anyway, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.